Of course, the Cowboys won in Week 2. That's some very good news, but it is time to play some winners and losers from that Cowboys victory over the Giants, and no surprise, there were more winners than losers this week because the Cowboys won. What more could you possibly want? And the big winner, at least for me personally, was one Dak Prescott. Now, don't panic about, we only had 160 yards passing. Dak was really good in this game. Like, if you watch the game, I know you guys are going to know he wasn't perfect, and the offense did slow down after the first quarter, namely after the Cowboys stopped using the Scott Linehan game script, which is something we'll talk more about on Thursday's show. But Dak was good. This is like the baseline for me for Dak. If he plays like that each and every single game, I'm going to be a very happy camper. I was very pleased by how Dak Prescott played. The numbers aren't elite by any means, but he ran the ball well. The Cowboys used him well. Very happy with Dak Prescott. Not perfect by any means. He did overthrow Rico Gathers. Almost had a pick in the end zone with Cole Beasley there. But overall, quite pleased with how well Dak Prescott played. Again, he's not perfect yet. He's not going to be perfect. No quarterback is in the NFL. But I feel much better about Dak Prescott. So how confident are you in Dak? Rate on a scale of 1 to 10 in the comments section. 10 being the most confident, 1 being you want him benched right this second. I think he's more in the 5 or a 6. He's still developing and still growing, and he's never going to put up the same numbers as a Tony Romo did. But I was pretty pleased with how Prescott played in Week 2. By the way, how could you not be pleased with the next guy on our list here, Tavon Austin? Now, he's still not getting to 24 touches a game because he's never going to, but that was what you want out of Tavon Austin. Limited snaps, not that many overall, but he made some key impacts. And he had that big, deep touchdown pass as well. That was absolutely fantastic for Tavon Austin there. 2 catches, 79 yards, the 1 TD, 15 yards on the ground. Again, 12 to 24 touches is really going to be snaps, but I was very happy with how the Cowboys used Tavon, especially early on. He's not going to give you that every single game, but overall, that's kind of what you're hoping for, best case, for Mr. Austin. One more winner on offense here in terms of skill position, guys. It's Rico. He was active, right? And guess what? He should have had a touchdown catch. Dak, he got open in the end zone, and Dak missed him. We all would have went nuts on Twitter. I would have had so many hate DMs. It would have been awesome if Rico caught that touchdown catch. He's a winner for actually being active. Only played the 5 snaps. But again, this is kind of what I wanted the Cowboys to do. Go ahead and use Rico in the red zone, in the end zone. He should have 1 touchdown already this year because Dak just missed him. Now, he's still not the best blocker, and he's still maybe not the most, well-versed player in scheme and the nuances of the NFL. But you can find ways to get on the ball in the end, on offense in the end zone and do good things with that. So speaking of Rico and touchdowns, how many will he have this year? I'll be honest, I can't wait to see some of these comments. I know how you guys are with numbers. Sometimes you guys just pick the high one. I'll put the over-under at like 2, and I'm sure most of you will end up picking the over there. All right, some more winners and losers to the offensive line now we go. About Tyron Smith. And Smith was rusty, I think is the best way to describe it in Week 1. Wasn't quite on the track that he should have been on, but he was great against the Giants. Now, he did have 1 penalty, so dock him some points there, but he allowed 0 pressures. And I know that the Giants didn't have Olivier Vernon, and Kareem Martin got banged up for a little bit too. And the Giants' outside linebacker core is frankly pretty bad. But Tyron looked great. I thought he was the best offensive lineman in Week 2. Zach Martin right behind him. And then at number 3, who also had a really, really good game for the Cowboys, Connor Williams. And this is me doing my victory lap, guys. I tried to tell you all to breathe a little bit. C-Will was actually really good against the Giants, against a pretty good Giants front 3 in terms of their 3-4 defense. All right? He played very, very well, allowed 0 pressures. That's what you want at the left guard spot. He had a fantastic game. Now, he's not perfect yet. He does need to work on his strength and get better in that area. But so far in 2 games against 2 good defensive linemen, namely Quan Short and Damon Snacks Harrison, 1 sack, 1 hurry. Frankly, there's only been a handful of bad snaps that I saw for C-Will so far. He ain't perfect. He's not going to be a perfect player in year 1. But he is definitely a winner, and I hope now we can all breathe a little bit easier about the play of Connor Williams. Xavier Su'a-Filo is not going to take his starting job. All right, Cowboys fans, I got an exclusive deal just for you guys. I got 20 Cowboys Nike t-shirts or Cowboys hats to give away to you guys. DM me on Twitter if you want the details. Now, you'll get the hat and the shirt for free, but only after you get started with our sponsor who is providing us with these shirts and hats. And oh, by the way, once we get to that 20 mark, one of you guys who got the shirt and the hat and got set up with our sponsor will get Cowboys tickets. DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney if you want the details. We'll get you set up there. Again, that is 20 Cowboys t-shirts or hats, and then Cowboys tickets to one of you lucky players out there. Again, at WhatGoingDowney, I'll put my YouTube link or my Twitter link in the comments on YouTube and Facebook. All right, some more Cowboys winners and losers to get into here. Damien Wilson. Now, he wasn't on our loser list in week 1, but he pretty much really was because he didn't play very well. Only played 17 snaps in week 2, but he was good. 3 tackles, that awesome forced fumble on the sack, a pass breakup against Odell Beckham, mind you. Targeted 4 times, 3 catches for 16 yards, and as a linebacker, that's kind of what you want. You're going to give up the 5 to 6 yard catch because you're a linebacker against a tight end or a halfback or even sometimes a receiver. You just can't get burnt and miss tackles. Now, he did miss one, but overall, Damien Wilson, bad week 1, bounced back in a big way for week 2. He wasn't the only linebacker, by the way, to get a stock up from me on this week's winners and losers for the Cowboys. Leighton Vander Esch. Same deal with Connor Williams. I know some of you guys were spamming the panic button and freaking out about LVE and Seawell. Can we all breathe now? Just big, deep breath. The rookies are going to be okay. 7 tackles, came in as the de facto second linebacker after Sean Lee cramped up or had a tight hamstring, whatever it actually was. 7 tackles in like 28 snaps. That's good right there. 10 tackles for the year. I know we haven't seen much of him, and I know he's still raw and developing a little bit, but maybe he's not the next Brian like the Cowboys thought he was going to be, but I'm very happy with how LVE fared in week 2. I feel much better about him going forward, as I think you all should as well. All right, next up on our winners and losers, about Byron Jones. This dude has been nothing short of fantastic the first 2 weeks. 6 tackles against the Giants, but here's the kicker. Targeted 5 times, allowed 1 reception for 0 yards. I mean, what more do you want from a quarterback? Byron Jones, by the way, has been the Cowboys' best cornerback this year. And that's not a knock on Chidobe Awuzie or even Anthony Brown. They've both been good, but Byron's been really good. Very, very glad the Cowboys finally moved Byron back to cornerback and picked up his 5th-year option. Very happy with how Byron Jones has looked so far. He's going to be a big player for the Cowboys, not just this year, going forward too. But do you agree with me? Do you think Byron's the best corner, or do you think it's an Awuzie, or maybe there's some Jourdan Lewis truthers out there who we'll get to here in just a minute? But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. I'm still going Byron Jones, even though it is kind of a 1A, 1B with Chidobe Awuzie as well. One more winner. Had to do it, right? Brett Maher back on the winners after a bad week 1, but he was 2 for 2 on field goals this week, 2 for 2 on extra points. Granted, they weren't that long. The longest was actually 37 yards. And he's still on my probation list. Shout out Scooter Magruder for inspiring me on that one. He's still on probation for now. But if he keeps doing like this, I will feel so much better about the Cowboys kicking unit, and I will not be bemoaning the loss of Dan Bailey anymore. All right, so to recap the Cowboys' Week 2 winners. Dak Prescott, Tavon Austin, Rico Gathers, Tyron Smith, Connor Williams, Damien Wilson, Leighton Vander Esch, Byron Jones, and of course the kicker, Brett Maher. 2 for 2 this week. It's exactly what I like to see. And folks, let me know who was your biggest winner in Week 2. Was it Dak? Was it somebody I didn't even mention? Was it Linehan, Garrett, whomever? Let me know in the comment section. Once you guys get, I'll be sure to respond as well. All right, folks, those were the winners, and now we're going to get to losers, but we got one more winner for you guys. That's Mizzen in Maine. They're providing me with this awesome dress shirt. Go to comfortable.af to get your own today. They're made in America, perfect for America's team, and trust me, it is the most comfortable shirt you will ever own. That's Mizzen in Maine at comfortable.af. All right, time for some losers now for the Cowboys, and next up, Terrance Williams, and he's just not playing all that much, which I'm kind of okay with because same reason you guys are. It's T-Will. He's just kind of average at receiver. But I've been very happy with how the Cowboys have deployed their receivers, but T-Will is one of the losers right now. 1 reception for 12 yards against the Giants. Only played 11 snaps, though, and had just the 1 target. He's dead last right now among receivers in snaps, and now the team brought in Bryce Butler, too. So if you're T-Will, I think you're a little bit worried about your roster status. So, folks, let me know what you want the Cowboys to do with Terrance Williams. Type K for keep, type C for cut, and type T for trade. Trade would be great. I don't know who actually wants T-Will, though, right now, if he can't even beat out Tavon Austin and Gallup and DeAndre Thompson and all the other receivers. C for cut, you actually save no money, so I lean towards keep if, as I assume if you're correct here, you can't find a trade partner for Terrance Williams. All right, one more receiver with the loser tag this week, Michael Gallup. Now, not from a snap perspective, he actually played the third most this week, but where's the impact? And I know that in general, I think we overhype first-year receivers because it's harder than you think to actually make the adjustment to the NFL with a brand-new quarterback, a new scheme, and all that stuff. But he was targeted twice, dropped a pass, which wasn't the world's easiest pass to catch, but wasn't really ideal. One reception for 5 yards. If you're playing the third most snaps among wide receivers, even in the Cowboys' run-focused offense, wouldn't you expect to make a bigger impact? So, Gallup, I'm going to put on the loser side for now. I think he'll bounce back. I'm not concerned about his long-term prognosis, but I did think you were going to see a little bit more production from Gallup with so many snaps. And if you're a fantasy owner, I told you guys, don't draft Michael Gallup. Folks, today's show was brought to you by Savor. You can sign up for free to discover some rare craft beers from all over the nation from breweries that you definitely won't find where you currently live. Go to Savor.com, promo code ChatSports for $10 off. Now, their craft beers, they do have a new Pilsner out there, though, a Holy Ghost Pilsner. I've tried it. It's absolutely fantastic. So, Pilsner's IPAs, they got all kinds of craft beer that you want. Go to Savor.com, promo code ChatSports gets you $10 off your first purchase. All right, two more losers to get to here. La'el Collins. I was just underwhelmed. He hasn't been like a disaster, but he hasn't been as good as I thought he was going to be. I thought La'el Collins would emerge as a top-tier right tackle. Maybe not by now, but getting close to it. 3 hurries, 1 penalty. He hasn't been one of the top 5 right tackles like the Cowboys are actually paying him to be. He just hasn't looked that good. So I think he'll bounce back, but I am a little bit worried about La'el Collins. Now, you're certainly not going to bench him right now because Cam Fleming was a disaster in the preseason. But the worry scale is kind of up to like a 4 or a 5 or a 6 for me. Like, I just need to see better play for him to bounce back and improve going forward because right now we just haven't had it so far. One big loser, still the case actually from last week as well. It's Jourdan Lewis, who got on the field, or excuse me, it's Kavon Frazier next up. My bad, guys. Kavon Frazier is next up because he had the nice sack, which was awesome, but he also missed 4 tackles. And I know it's Kavon Frazier against Saquon Barkley. What do you expect? And he wasn't a disaster by any means. Frankly, the Cowboys defense was awesome in that game. And he had the sack in the pass breakup, but 4 missed tackles for a strong safety, that's a big red flag for me. I don't expect them to shut down opposing tight ends and halfbacks in the passing game, but they should make the tackle. So Frazier, not like a stock all the way down plummet cut the guy, but he was a loser in week 2 for me. As I just hinted at on accident, Jourdan Lewis is the last guy up here because finally got on the field, but for 1 snap on defense. And that was only when Byron Jones missed the play with an injury. Lewis, I don't know if he's in the doghouse, because I think he's better than Anthony Brown, but he can't even get on the field right now. That's a big red flag to me. And frankly, I would not be surprised if the Cowboys have a big injury or something, that when we get closer to the start of the NFL trade deadline, if we start to hear some Jourdan Lewis trade rumors, because he's clearly your number 4 guy. He's not even playing. That's a big red flag for me. All right, folks, let me know who your biggest loser was in week 2. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. And we will see you guys here after I quickly recap the biggest losers here one more time if you guys missed it. Terrance Williams, Michael Gallup, La'el Collins, Kavon Frazier, and Jourdan Lewis. Let me know who you guys think was the biggest loser this week. And we will see you guys on Thursday for our next Cowboys Report.